nongurarawa Nigo sana kodoe na mataka Pauna numa Nananda tonlasa Mai subana numa tikona Fanwarongo nano monivanua Kenata nilevu tunaua Lomango voli meu bau batuka Tovolea ke balavu nabula Filthy word.
No,
Johnny Herbert.
it's gone 6 o'clock, so
Hi.
we can't
Yeah.
mention it.
John.
The watershed.
Hi, John.
The wet shed.
Hi.
Hello, John.
Hello. How's everybody?
Hi, John. Hello, John. Hello,
Oh,
John.
Scotty's here as well, which is lovely to hear. See. Yeah. Now, one of you just said, where is our CBD? Hello, Scotty.
Evening, David.
Nice to see you acknowledging the old vessels of the P&O. That's what we like to see, isn't it, Colonel?
Yes.
Yeah. The old fleet,
Even older than
the original fleet. The original fleet. That's where
Yeah. Well, not as original as Bob.
Yeah, and look, here comes Charlie. All the
How
way.
many tube stands have there been, Scotty?
That I don't know, actually. Maybe
Whoa.
2.
Uh,
Do you think there was a second one?
I'll ask Oscar.
Yeah, I think there was 2.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it was 2.
Yeah.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
Good to see you. I think you need your sunglasses on, Charlie. This is looking promising.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, shaping up. Very
Brilliant.
spring-like today.
Yeah, and the same for Chris Johnson on the West Coast. You look as if you've got a bit of a sunlight coming through those the windows.
Yeah, we got a little sunshine today.
Well, you
Yeah.
deserve it. Freaky's got some behind him, but it's all a con.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
Chris.
Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Chris,
I'll be very brief today. I won't be on long today because we've got to keep going out in about 15 minutes or so.
You can go a little bit earlier than that if you want to, Charlie.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Only joking. Only
Ah,
joking.
Charlie,
Yeah.
I've got some great news.
Yes.
Right. Do you remember John Houchin?
John.
Houchin. He was
Not
him
familiar with the name.
and Jack Brennan came to sea at the same time. They were mates from primary school back in
Right. Oh, brilliant.
not I want to say Barnstable, but it's not Barnstable. It's one of those Essex towns that begin with B. Brentwood.
Chelmsford.
No, begin with B. Brentwood.
Right. Yeah.
What, round London?
Yeah.
Bermondsey.
No, that's not in Essex.
Braintree.
Might be Braintree. Yeah, it could be Braintree.
Brentford.
No, that's West London. And they came to sea together on the Arcadia, and they were both wingers, I think. No, John was. Anyway, a guy called Neil Patton sent me a Facebook message about he's trying to organise a get-together for all Himalaya ex-seamen out in Oz.
Right.
And I was chatting to him, and I said, "Oh, you're not by any chance still in contact with Jack Brennan, are you?" And he said he hasn't contacted in the recently, but he knows John Houchin has. So I sent an email to John, and John's going to phone it. He's going to contact him, Jack, because Jack's still around. He's not
brilliant.
he's not very well, but I don't know what is wrong with him. He didn't put, he says he's got very serious medical health problems, and he's going to phone me next week after
lovely.
speaking with Jack to see if he wants us to have his number to contact him.
Right. Yeah. I think
So,
I'll
but-
probably be coming over earlier than expected. My brother-in-law unfortunately passed the other day, so there's a pending funeral. I was coming in April, so I might have to come in March.
Well, sorry
sorry
about
about
that,
that.
Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he live?
Leon C.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Leon C. Is that
Yeah.
is that Kent coast?
So
Yeah,
South End. South End.
Essex.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Peter Boat. That's a good pub there.
Peterborough,
Sea.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. I went there. I
Um,
used to have a friend.
Every time over, Chris, I'm in there every time. Always have a good meal there.
I had a good friend I went to college down in Bournemouth with, lived in Leon Sea, and I went out to see him a couple of times, and every time I went out there it was the Peter Boat.
Oh
It's
yeah.
magic.
It's
Yeah.
really well
Good
known. Really well known.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Crooked Billet, two good pubs
Man.
along the road there.
Mm.
And the
I've heard of
Smack.
it. I don't think I've been in there. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've gone to the Peterborough, you've gone past it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hopefully
Memories.
we'll hear from you before you come over, Charlie. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Hoping next week there's some sort of arrangement. How
Yeah.
long does a funeral take to organise over there?
Oh, well,
Generally.
Can be 3-4 weeks, Charlie. It depends if it's a burial or a cremation.
Yeah. Probably a cremation.
That tends to be longer. That tends to be about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
3 to 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Will you both be coming over? Oh, obviously, both be coming over.
Just myself at present, and then later in the year we're both coming over.
Right.
If the
How-
island
how long-
still on.
How long do you think you'll be staying, Charlie?
It depends. 5-6 weeks maybe.
5-6 weeks.
What in
Yeah.
March?
Yeah. Well, I don't normally like being there in March because it's a bit nippy for me. So, but if I've got to go, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
right.
then-
Well, we'll get together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, boys,
Good night.
can we just acknowledge our crew bar director who did slip in quite discreetly? Hello, Steve.
Hmm.
Oh, he's that discreet. He's no audio. We can't hear you, Steve.
Yeah, you
No.
have to connect to the audio, Steve.
Yeah.
He's still got it connected to United.
Yeah,
You
he's
might.
still got it connected to the Australian crew bar this morning that didn't take place. Is that right, Steve?
Just nod.
Best thing to do is to get out and come back, Steve, and then when it says connect to audio, then hit it right away.
Well,
Yeah.
does that mean he can't come in for another 2 weeks, Johnny?
No, he can come in. He can just leave and come back in, and then it'll say, "You want to connect? You want to connect to audio?"
Hey, hang on, look,
He obviously can hear us.
He's coming in. He's coming in twice.
We're not having that. We're not having that. Pete, you're the only one who can hear what he's saying with those earplugs on.
You got it.
Anyway, no, Charlie, we were initially just talking to Scotty about the Chusan, obviously, which is one of for us, it was one of the early ships. Your first ship was it Aronze, was it, or Arcadia?
No, Arcadia.
Arcadia, which was-
Arcadia, Orsova, and Orchides.
You didn't do Himalaya?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a guy that. Do you
Hang
remember?
on 1 minute. Hang on.
talk about Himalaya. Hilda, did you do Himalaya?
Yes, I did. I think it was a 6-month trip out there. We went to sail from Southampton to Australia, Sydney, and then we did quite a long spell of cruise in there before we came back to the UK.
Mhm.
And
No.
it was the only time I was on there. That
Right,
was,
I'm back.
What year was that for
really
you,
late.
Hilda?
I think that was in the 60s. Probably 66, I think that was. I was on there.
Right. Okay. So,
Chef was Jimmy
so
Baines.
Charlie, you've got a script in front of you.
I wrote down all the ships I was on from the years, because every week I can never remember what years I was on them. So
Go on then.
it's
Give us a
1970
taster.
for that year, 1970, I was on the Arcadia. 71, I was on the Orchides. 72 on the Orsova. 74, the Navassa and the Uganda, and the Himalaya in 74 as well. 75 back on the Arcadia, and the end of 75 on the Canberra, and I finished on the Arcadia in 76. Plus I worked, you know, stood by on the Oriana and various other name ships down in Southampton.
Any of you remember Paul McLeod, the organist?
Oh, yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
That was his
Yeah.
first trip. You
Paul
know, was on the
McLeod, yeah.
Himalaya when I was there,
Mhm.
and he came
Right.
back to the UK on there, and he was I was like in the chief baker's cabin, and there was a passenger cabin next to mine, behind mine, and he was in there.
okay.
So
What
I
was
come-
his
Did
organ?
you say Paul McLeod, John?
Yeah.
Who?
He
Paul
was on the
McLeod, did you
Oriana, I
say?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back and he did quite a few ships after that, but he disappeared off the scene some years ago. I don't quite know what happened to him. He went back to Sydney, and I think he got involved with the wrong crowd or something or other, and involved with drugs. Whether it was
Yeah.
felt
He
or
had,
not, I don't know.
he had the mightiest organ at sea.
Not on the ships, John. Drugs.
But
I got a picture. I'm going to put a picture. I got it right here.
What? Him and his organ?
Yeah, I
It
do.
is mighty organ.
yeah.
Yes, I do. Just give me 10 minutes
Is
to
it-
find it.
Yeah.
Is this censored?
Oh, no.
Fruity, can you write down in the diary that Colonel's just going through his filing system? He thinks he knows.
Wait, what is Rosie?
He'll be ready for us next week.
It's
Hey,
here somewhere.
Chuck.
It's here. I saw it the other
Still
day.
can't hear you, Steve.
Saw it the
Can
other
you hear me
day.
now?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, Steve, very important. This is an old age thing. Whatever you fucking did, you write it down. Say,
I didn't do anything.
you did, you
I
pressed
just
the
went
button.
out and came back in again. That's
Oh,
it.
but then write that down.
Went in, came out.
Okay, we're good. All right.
So
Hey,
when-
Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie, interesting in your list of ships, you're on the Navassa in 74, you said. I missed you by a
Well-
year. I was on in 73.
Right.
Navassa.
Right.
Great little ship, I tell you.
Oh yeah.
Great little ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both schoolie ships, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they had
yeah.
They had about 300 passengers all in the old first class section of the ship. I had a great cabin on there, you know, great passenger cabin, old first class cabin.
I think most of the cabins were good on there. It was just the
Yeah.
condition. You couldn't mingle with the underage
Kids.
girls. Which was annoying.
No. Well, I did a little bit, but that was only because they used to give me a
You used
A
to
list
take
of-
pictures of them.
list of group shots. That was all ahead of time.
I tried
Yeah,
doing the
it's
same
all-
thing, and they wanted to lock me up. Yeah.
They gave me a list of group shots to take and a calendar of when to shoot them, timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I had to do with the only interaction I had with the school kids.
Right.
But we did one cruise when I was on there where the ship was chartered, by an Irish group of, I think it was St. Augustine missionaries or something. And we went to Oporto to go to Fatima, which is the basilica there, like a
Oh,
pilgrimage.
yes.
And 1,100 Irish adults in dormitories.
They used to do that on the
Unbelievable.
on the Uganda as well, Chris. They used
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
they used to do a Scottish one and an Irish
Uh-huh.
one, because when they did one of the Irish ones, I was on leave and they asked me to go down and join it in Southampton and go over to Dublin to set the machines up. They put some extra ones on board.
All right. Okay.
Well, a very fat, ginger bearded Scotsman was the deputy purser, I think.
Oh, what's
And I
Alistair
felt-
doing on there?
He was deputy purser or purser, one of the others, something like that.
No.
Anyhow, well, you can imagine what it was like. I never felt so ill in all my life when I got to Dublin.
Well, on that cruise, we started in Dublin. We were supposed to go back to Dublin at the end of the cruise and drop them all off, but there was a tug strike and a baggage strike in Dublin, so we had to go to Cove and drop them all off there in the ship's lifeboats with their luggage. That was a sight to be seen.
They always had very interesting ports and tours that you could get on.
Yeah, I went to Leningrad on that in '73. We went to Leningrad and we had to arrive in darkness and leave in darkness because the Russians had, or the Soviets, they had Navy installations along the coast, and they didn't want you to see it,
Right.
So we had to arrive in darkness and leave in darkness. But it was great. We went on the buses. We had to stay on the buses and go to the Hermitage and the Winter Palace and stuff, But
we did the Jerusalem one, and they went to Jerusalem and Haifa, so that was a big ordeal there too.
Yeah.
I went to
They were
Leningrad.
sending the divers down and make sure there weren't no things put on the ships.
Yeah, I went to Leningrad. I don't know whether it was the Canberra or the Sea Princess.
Okay.
Because they did a special crew tour for us. And again, we went to the Hermitage. And
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Bob.
Good evening, Bob.
How are we, old boys?
It's nothing personal, Robert, but I have to leave. I'll talk to you all next week.
No, you won't.
Charlie.
All right, Charlie.
Steve,
Okay, Charlie.
Steve, talk to Charlie to tell him that we're not here next week.
Okay.
Charlie, we're not here next week.
All right. So I've got it twice now.
It's been decided by the all those above that we're going to start doing this every other week.
Yeah. So
Okay.
fortnightly. All right, Charlie.
Rather than every week, we're going to do it every other
You mean
week.
bi-weekly?
Yeah.
Bi-weekly.
No, we're not going down that route. No.
No.
But the thing is that if anyone wants to come into the Aussie crew bar, that's on the week we're not on. So
That's on the opposite week.
That's every other week as well, is it? Or
yeah.
It's 1 week Aussie, next week.
In between weeks.
All
In between, yeah.
Hey, Pete, if you come up with anything, give me a holler.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I'll be happy to hear that.
All right, mate.
All right,
All right,
Charlie.
guys, take care.
Take care.
Here, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 2 weeks' time then.
Yeah. 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah.
That's oh, don't mention it, it's F word, sorry. I was going to say
No, it's
something.
not. It's nothing to do with that. No. All
I
right.
was going to say the F word then. Forget
It's a
it.
shame Charlie had said. He said as soon as Blackpool Bob comes on, I'm off. I don't know what's
Correct. How strange.
in a nice way. Anyway, Bob, you're looking good. How are all your additions? Are they getting bigger by the minute?
They are indeed, yes. Mm.
Right.
Yeah. Daisy's getting tired.
Oh, I bet she is. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the score there? How long does she have to look after them? Feed
Well,
them?
we're going to start feeding them dog food this week sometime. They said 3.5 to 4 weeks to start giving them, washed up
Yeah, something.
So we'll see.
hard
I don't
step.
know. I don't know, to be honest.
Right.
I'll obviously, you know,
Oh, you've plenty of plastic bags.
aye, yeah. So
Yeah.
I believe.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Hello, Bobo.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Now, are you
Hey,
in your
Bobo.
new flat?
I'm in Cardiff Bay. I'm not in the new flat just yet, but I'm very close to something else happening. So I can't say at the moment, but I've not bought the other flat. I've got another one. So
Oh,
it's a long
blimey.
story. Long
All
story.
right. Yeah, but we can
Long
watch that on one of, we will get updated on one of your reports, I hope.
Yes, you will.
Nicer-
Yeah, so
A nicer flat, Bobo, or
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, it's
Good.
It's actually where I am now. I'm going to actually show you because the guys that were in the Cardiff reunion, see if you can remember where this is, if I can do it.
Oh, were you in there? Where we had breakfast?
Dragon Centre, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's
Lovely.
that's where the bowling, the 10-pin bowling championship,
Ah, right.
which,
Oh, yeah.
which
Right.
I was fantastic at. I was the star bowler, wasn't I, Dave?
Yes,
I would
Bobo.
like to
Yes,
argue.
you were. Yeah, yeah.
And
In
yeah,
the
so,
Italian place.
yeah, there's just me here. There's just me here. Yeah.
Did
Well
you get
done.
5 strikes in a row?
Yeah. I think I was hopeless. But I didn't hit one ball. I think I didn't get anything. I didn't even hit anything, I don't think. Yeah, so it's very quiet. The head waiter here is really funny. Oh, why do you want to go outside? I said, it's okay, I want that table at the end. Yeah. So
Very
yeah,
good,
so
very
I'm
good.
here. So I hope everyone's well. So yeah. So I'm here for a week. So
Okay. Oh, wait, when you
Yeah.
say here for a week, what happens? Is this when you go off to Thailand?
no, Philippines, but I've got quite a few things happening. At the end of the week, I'm going back to the Midlands.
Mm.
And then after that, I'm going to Amsterdam, and then I'm going to Dubai and the Philippines. Yeah.
Lovely.
So
I'm taking my bloody taff hat off, Barbara. I work.
I
just for you.
know. I haven't got my tap hat with
Yeah.
me.
Well, actually, I appreciate that, Colonel. Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very
He
good.
gave me a bollocking for not having my hat, Colonel did.
Yeah. Colonel gives a bollocking to everybody. It's all
Yeah.
right. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's all right.
Right,
Did you
guys,
see
I'm-
we got a message from Gizzy? He does apologise. He is away again this week, but he does give his regards to all the lads and lasses. But hopefully, I guess next week may be an opportunity. But he is
Well,
away for
We're not here
a
next
night.
week, Dave.
Hmm?
We're not here
Unless
next
he's
week.
going to Australia.
Oh, he doesn't know that though, does he?
I'll speak to him. I'm meeting him next Sunday, Dave.
Yeah. Well,
We're both going to the.
You can't say why. You won't say why.
I can't
you're-
say why. I can't
You
say
can't say
why.
why you're meeting him. All right. Okay.
All right,
Why are
guys,
we-
I'm off. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.
Oh, are you
Okay.
going now, Fuji?
Is that
Encourage that every other week we can go to Australia on the morning one. So it'll be Australia one week morning Australia, 1 week evening UK.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be
As long as we know.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
point being, Bob, is that we started this up initially because of the lockdown. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're no longer in lockdown, and it's a bit unfair expecting people to give up their Sunday evening every weekend.
Oh well.
Oh, okay.
You're the ones who know most.
Well,
Well,
it's worth putting it to the test, Bob, and
Yeah.
hopefully, well, like you've been in the Australia one, you know how
Sure.
how it goes. So we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes with it. I'm not sure what time of day or night that'll be for you, Hilda. Okay, at 9 in the morning UK.
It will be
Um,
1 o'clock
this-
in the afternoon for him.
There's 5.5 hours difference between UK and Goa at the moment.
Right, right.
Oh,
And it's
we're on
exactly 12 between West Coast and Goa. Because right now, John, it's 25 after 11. Is that
Tonight it's when I do it of an evening now, it's 12:30 a.m.
okay? So 11 hours. Okay, 11 hours difference.
It's 6:30 in the
I-
morning in Sydney at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right, right.
I set my alarm because I go to bed and
Oh,
I set my alarm for 12:15.
yeah.
That's why I'm a bit bleary eyed.
Oh.
Well, we appreciate.
Well, that was the
Yeah,
makeup.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering about Brendan. He's just coming in and in now. Probably just to keep an eye on you, Scotty. All right.
All right.
Hello, Brendan.
Hi guys, how are we?
Hi,
Brendan. Hey, Brendan.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Hey.
No, any time's a good time. It's all right, Brendan. So hopefully the week's been good for you. We have been talking about the earlier ships. We did have Charlie in from Bermuda, but he had to leave early tonight, Brendan, as soon as Blackpool Bob came on, coincidentally. But that's nothing personal. But we were talking about with the older ships anyway. Well, of course, your first one was the Sun, but you did then go on to Spirit, and then you did go on to Canberra, didn't you?
Did a stint on the Oriana, excuse me,
All right.
I'm getting cold. And then I did a stint on the Canberra, a fabulous year on the Canberra. I shared a cabin with Peter Steele for the whole year, and it was just brilliant. We did the world cruise, medi cruising, and then started a second session of medi cruising before I went back out to the Sun again. But the world cruise with Peter Steele was fantastic. It was brilliant.
What year was that? Was that 77?
77, yeah, the 77 world cruise, yeah. It was really funny. I remember do you remember they used to have DJs on the ships, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got very friendly with the DJ on the Canberra at the time, a guy called Ray. Can't remember, I've got a picture of him somewhere. But they used to do I think they used to do a disco in the
Peacock.
In the Peacock, but there was also the other one, the underused bar. You didn't want to be.
Oh, the Island Room.
The Island Room, that was it. Yeah.
That became the disco years later.
Yeah.
The Island Room, long time after that one. But
I can remember the first DJ that they used. It was on the Chusan about 1970, and it's a very posh bird from the Chelsea set, ever so up herself. She hadn't a clue, but she obviously knew somebody in high places. But she was the very first one they ever had. Do you remember that, Scotty?
No.
No. Right. Yeah.
Well, the most famous one on Oriana was Joe Gilfinning, wasn't it, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, the Kiwi Joe.
I liked him. He was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
He was good. He's very good.
Yeah.
There was a DJ on the Sun, I think. Was his name Jimmy someone, or if I remember rightly? There was a DJ there for a while. I might be wrong. They used to come down to do the crew bar. And the crew bar nights, they used to get the DJ down and do a stint there. But maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I thought it was Jimmy someone. Blonde hair. I don't know. But the DJs were quite a funny group, really. They unique, really, weren't they? Most of the passengers were old. There were very few that actually went up to the disco.
Yeah, the DJ on the Sun in the Starlight, he used to do the lights at the shows in the International.
That's right. That's right, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he was an assistant cruise director and doubled up as a DJ. That's what I was thinking of.
Probably.
Yeah, some of them did.
Yeah.
Hey, mind
I remember was an American
do
guy.
the lights, didn't they?
An American guy on the Sun did the lights and was DJ in the Starlight. I can't think of his name.
I remember now.
Tall, slim guy, long hair.
Was he on medication, Steve?
Down his, not on his head, just down his back.
Most of them were.
Excuse me for a second. Excuse me for a second. I think Mrs. Kling's just booked me on a Suez Canal cruise. I gotta go and check.
Hey,
Suez Canal.
I'm not joking.
Where are they not cruising? One of the
Suez
cruise
Canal.
You and everything, John.
Well, it's been a couple of months since he's had one.
yeah.
I remember going down the Suez Canal.
Don't get
There
stuck.
was a load of kids showing their asses. When the ship was sailing past, and probably loads of kids dropping their trousers and showing their asses.
Well, I suppose it's better than some of the old areas adults.
Mooning.
Did a few of those on the Oriana.
I think we had a DJ on the Canberra. Was it Jimmy Savile? I think his name was.
Oh, don't start all that.
He travelled quite a bit, if I remember rightly, on the P&O cruises, didn't he?
He had to leave
To the world on the Canberra.
There you go.
He told me to fuck off on the train, Jimmy Savile.
Did he?
Yeah.
Are you too old?
We were going from Southampton to Bournemouth.
Good story, Steve.
We're going to Southampton to Bournemouth on the train. We must have been overnight or something. And you remember the old trains with the carriage with the sliding door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're walking down, he was in one of them. We're going, oh, Jimmy, all right, mate. And you're, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fucking pedo. We didn't know then. Load of pissed up seamen. We're on leave. I think we're off the Oriana. I can't remember now which one it was.
Mind you, did you have more of a beard in those days, Steve, and look a bit more like Rolf Harris?
No.
Oh,
David, you're asking for it, mate.
you'll be leaving in a minute, won't you, Steve?
I think I'll only be allowed on once a month if I'm lucky. Oh dear. Hey, so we're talking about the DJs, obviously, but I what went through my mind also, you know, back on the older ships, the bigger ships or whatever, you know, we were obviously younger in those days, and the captains were more like gods, you know, compared to, you know, as years went by, we obviously they got used to us, and we would be more friends than not. But you know, the Commodore Woolley. Do you remember, did any of you?
Right.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Remember the name?
Yeah, he was quite. I was quite not scared of him, but I mean, you just flipping knew he was the Commodore, you know, and bit like Dougie Williams as being the bar manager, you know. Bloody hell, you know, he was quite.
Well, Fred, we used to help him to the lift a few times.
Yeah.
Up to his cabin because he couldn't manage it on his own.
He used to get well pissed at Fred.
Yeah,
really.
Down in the crew accommodation.
Yeah. Hilda, did you sail with Fred?
Yeah. Fred, his name was, wasn't it? Fred
Yeah.
Woolley, Frederick.
Fred Woolley.
Yeah. Captain, was it Chester was the deputy when we
Charlie.
One eye. Oh,
One
one
eye.
eye.
One eye.
Oh, Cyclops.
That's
Cyclops.
it, Cyclops.
Yeah.
Chester was on the Canberra when I think it was Chester. When I first joined it in the early 80s, after the Sun Princess, been about 83, 84, I suppose. Anyway, we're doing galley rounds one morning, and I didn't wear the regular boot type shoes in the galley. I wore the ones with the steel caps, but they weren't they just looked like an ordinary shoe. He came round on rounds one day, and he looked at these shoes and stood on them and tried to press down as hard as he could.
Oh, no.
And I said, yes, they have got steel caps in, sir. And he just looked at me and took his foot off and carried on with rounds.
Strange.
He was a twat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Who are we talking about now?
It was that posh.
Chester, Cyclops.
Yeah.
Cyclops.
He used to call he couldn't call the Himalaya. It had to be Himalaya.
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 You used to say Himalaya, didn't they?
Yeah.
Rumor has he lost his eyes when he got too close to a champagne bottle.
Really?
Yeah, I think I opened it, got him straight in the eye.
Good, good. Flipping
Well,
heck.
You're pretty speaking of the dead, Dave. Be careful.
Hey?
Captain Chester's probably long gone, right?
Yeah, all right.
Probably,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
He'd be
anyway,
100 if he was still
how's
alive.
the Suez Canal, Colonel? Is that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looks like we're doing going to do a 20-day on MSC, ending up in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
You're port side.
You're lowering your standards there, Johnny.
Well, I always wanted to do the Suez Canal, so Sydney's been looking for one forever, and it's a reasonable price, including the beverage package. So why not?
There's always minerals in it. Your beverages, juice and minerals.
Yeah, sure, Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah. No alcohol allowed.
So, Johnny,
That's right.
do you like old rusty old tanks and plenty of sand? Is that what you're hoping to experience?
I don't know what MSC is like. I don't know.
And I'm talking about the bloody view.
The view, yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah.
MSC better not be shouldn't be too old and rusty.
I reckon that's Suez Canal. There's not a lot to fucking view there, is there?
Not at all.
Sand and a straight bit of water.
I always wanted to do it, so don't put me off.
I'll tell you what, John. You might want to. You may have an opportunity to do a tour to Cairo.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
We did when we did that world cruise we were talking about.
Yeah.
Do you remember that years ago? They used to give out spare tour tickets to the crew. And a bunch of us got a tour ticket to Cairo. Instead of going through the canal, we got off in Port Suez, I think, and then we got on this minibus and went up to Cairo. And I remember Guy Paget and Peter Steele were in the bus, and it was a real hoot the whole day. But we went to the pyramids at Giza. Noel Hogan was with us. It was a real hoot. I've got pictures of it somewhere, and it was fascinating, really. I mean, I'm glad I did it and didn't go through the canal, because the canal, I don't want to rain on your parade or anything, but the Suez Canal's a bit boring, you know. But I'm sure it'll be nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Only the first 20 days are boring, all right?
Well, it's funny you said that. It's a 20-day cruise, though. So.
You'll be all right, not a big container ship blocking your way.
Yeah, that's right. They'll be stuck in the middle of the Suez.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, there might
be a long way around back.
If you're lucky, there might be another war. You could be stuck there for 6 months.
2 years.
Actually, Dave, are you going to ask Blackpool Bob if we get to see Daisy and the puppies?
You sure can if you wish.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
What do you mean we wish? It's part of the.
Just a second. Let's see. Well, I don't know where Daisy is. She might be here.
She might be. She might not be. That's all right.
Well,
where is she?
There's the babies.
Where are they? Where are they? Not yet.
Not yet.
Down a bit. Oh, flipping. Down a bit more, Bob. Oh, flipping.
There you go.
Can you see them?
Yeah.
Is there 5?
Yes,
There's
there is.
5, yeah.
Yeah, there is 5.
They've grown a lot.
Yeah.
God,
I don't know where Daisy is.
Well,
she's probably got her head down.
She probably has, yeah.
Yeah.
How many weeks are they now?
3. Oh, here she is. Here she is.
Good girl.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah.
How many weeks are they now, Bob?
3 weeks and 2 days.
3 weeks. 2 days.
Fine, it seems more.
Huh?
Seems more than that.
Yeah.
But it's not 3 weeks. We start feeding at 3.5 to 4 weeks, so I'm told.
Right. Well, that's brilliant. And where's Winston? Is he locked up?
He's upstairs. He's upstairs with Christopher.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Can't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful.
We've sold 4 of them. Up to
Have
now.
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well done. Oh, I mean, is it to what,
Yeah, the
friends
cruise
of
for
fellows
Australia
and-
soon.
Yeah, just people. Well, a girlfriend of Christopher's has bought one, and she phoned her mate in Scotland, and there's a girl from Scotland having one.
Mhm.
A bloke who Christopher does business with is having one, and then this other woman who's been round this afternoon, he just met her walking down the street with a dog, started talking to her, and she came round and she's having one. So
Wow.
I heard an interesting statistic. Pre-COVID, in the UK, there were 8 million dog owners. After COVID, how many million dog owners do you think there were?
12.
6.
13 million.
Yeah.
No.
13 million dog owners in the UK. That's a huge amount, isn't it?
It is, isn't
Oh,
it?
pre-COVID was 8, then it went up. Has it,
It
it
went
has
up.
dropped, it's
Everyone
dropped
got
back
dogs
down
in
again.
COVID. Pardon?
It has dropped back down again now, though.
Yeah.
How many have you got, Brendan?
Well, I've had a few dogs in the past. But no
And
dogs
me.
at the moment.
And
I'll
me.
tell you a story about
His own
dogs.
personal fox.
I'll tell you a story. Our daughter wanted a dog, and our daughter can get anything out of my wife. She could never say no to Lacey. And one day Lacey said, "Oh, could we go out to the local kennels and get a dog?" And I said, "No dog. Nothing against dogs, but there's such a commitment and everything, you know." So Sherry said, "Oh, I'll take her out just to have a look at the dogs." I'm in the garden. Next thing you know, there's a phone call. On our way home, we had look at the dogs. Oh, that was good. Yeah, and we bought one. And they come back with a little West Highland Terrier, and I thought this isn't going to work out. I was really cross, but I didn't. Anyway, first morning in the lounge was a great big pile of dog shit, and I said, "I'm just off to work. There's something for you in the lounge. I'll see you tonight." And all I could hear was going out the door was Sherry going, "Oh my God." Anyway, it lasted about 3 or 4 days, and she had paid £200 for this dog, which was a lot of money. And she bought all the stuff, the basket, the lead, the toys, the food, and everything. And it all had to go back. And so they said, we can't take the dog back, because you had a week to take the dog back if you didn't get on with it. So I said, "Well, I'll take it back, no problem." So I said, "Come on, old boy." So he got him in the car, and we drove up there. And I said, here's the dog. I said, "It's not working out." I said, "Can I have my money back?" And they only gave me £100 back. And I said, "Why is that then?" She said, "Well, we use that towards the charity." I said, "£100 a bit stiff, isn't it? I mean, maybe 50 quid or something, you know." I said, "What about all the dog toys and the basket? What about if I trade that in?" They didn't want it back. So, and do you know what? In my loft, I've still got a dog basket, dog lead, and some dog toys. So maybe I'll send them up to you, Bob. You could
all you want is another dog. It's all right.
Yeah, it's another dog. Yeah.
He's got one going, Brendan.
Yeah,
One
I'll
left.
sell you one.
Yeah,
I've got
Brendan.
had a
I've
dog.
got one left if you want it. Yeah.
No, you're okay, Bob. No way. They're lovely animals. I think they're fantastic, but not for me.
Did you ever win the Golden Bone on the Sun Princess, Brendan?
Golden Bone, no?
There was a few close calls, John, but I never won it, actually, no. I think Mr. Ings might have won it.
I beg your pardon. The nearest I got to it was taking it to the table in the Starlight Lounge, to where the second engineer was sat with, and I won't even say what it looked like, because it was, I couldn't describe it. Anyway, he won it fair and square, and she said, "What's that for then?" And I said, "Because he's a lucky boy."
I think that Rob Blackman, the Big Mary, won it more times than anybody else.
we took it in an ice bucket. It was a big it was the foil in the shape of a big bone, and we put it in the ice bucket, and it was taken over, on the tray, on the salver, all done with a big presentation, and of course she got all excited, and his face just dropped lower and lower. Round of applause and away you went, you know. Oh.
There's always something like a fourth engineer or a deck cadet or an engineer cadet, weren't they? Because they were desperate.
Desperate.
Didn't Rob Blackman won it one turn and Phil Butcher took it up there and threw it across the dance floor when he was dancing?
Oh, great. Right. Yeah.
And there was a bingo session.
One-eyed Sid would have been up there with them, wouldn't he? Do you remember?
Sid Wells. Oh, bless it.
If any of you remember the bingo session and the SP that Brian Redman used to put up on the dartboard. If there was a new female came on board, there was the SP there who would get there first.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that? Well, this is always chalked up on the side of the dartboard thing, the scoring board, the SP, and the names down there. It got dog race at the top. If any new female came on board, then the odds kept changing. You see, you would get there first. Well, this shop girl came on. Well, a young lady really, rather than girl, but Fran. And the first week they were there, first cruise, the shop girls always used to sit at one table at the end. And if you remember, the first house was always for a bottle of rum and a first line and a first house was always for a bottle of rum. A bottle of, yeah, I think it was rum or whatever it was. Anyway, this this new shop girl called out bingo on the first house. Or bells, that's what it was. So Alan, what's his name? Arthur Keating went over and called the numbers out and got to the last one. So, and I never thought about what I was saying, but I said, correct for a bottle of bells and a Bob Martins. Well, the place just collapsed because the Americans don't know, the American girl, they don't know what a Bob Martins is. And what made it laugh, so everybody was laughing. They said, what's the joke? What's the joke? What's a Bob Martins? And of course, that just set it off more. I never thought what I was saying. I just said correct for a bottle of bells and a Bob Martins. And of course, that just set it all off.
Lovely.
On the ferries, when one of the new girls arrived, they used to do a charity heavy lift in the Fluff Alley being the girls' accommodation, and we'd all put money in for the charity, and it went to a local school, a children's home, and what it was, the new girl used to get put into one of those stretchers where you get, where the one you get stretched in. I forgot the name.
Fire.
Who's that? Is that you, Pete?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, we got 2P Stevens, so we got feedback.
All right. We're okay. Anyway, so this morning coffee break, we all go down the Fluff Alley, and the girl, she's put into this stretcher, and then she said, "What's going to happen?" She said, "Well, one of the boys is going to come out and he's going to lift you up with his teeth." And this old boy, this old steward, came out from one of the cabins, and he'd be in this big long black wig, and he had a towel round his waist and a pair of flip-flops on, and he used to go over to this girl who was laying down, strapped into the lift, and there in the middle there was the rope. So he went and put the rope in his mouth, and he starts pulling it. And he said, right, so now we've got the music, the theme tune to Rocky is playing, and we're all clapping our hands. And he then gets into position he's just getting ready to get in position. But what he does, first of all, he looks at her in the face, and he bends down, he lifts up his, in the teeth, pulls it. No. So he then turns around, and he's now got his legs over her face. Now, this towel is still round his waist, but we didn't know there is nothing on underneath the towel.
My goodness.
So he's then bending down on his knees to get the rope in his teeth. and she's screaming until he gets closer and closer, and then you just hear a muffled, you know, like this. So he then stands up, and as he stands up, the towel falls off, and then we all scream. It was terrible. But it was all for charity, so don't worry.
All in a good cause.
Oh,
You for charity, eh?
Things you do.
Exactly. Anyway, it was in the days when you could do that, but not now. All right, just
No.
that, all right. Yeah,
Be arrested.
Not unless it's a bloke.
yeah. Not even going down that road now, are we? So anyway, right, let's go back to Scotty, because Scotty, you've now got a nice statue thing. Where are we? Where are we looking?
I think you've all been past it. You've all seen it.
Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Is it Vigo?
Lisbon.
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 Yeah.
Statue of Henry the Navigator.
That's the one.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So how long ago
Who
was
went to the
that
Bon
taken?
Jardin restaurant? The Bon Jardin
Oh
restaurant.
yeah.
Oh,
Bon
yeah.
Jardin, yeah.
Chicken and
Upstairs.
chips.
Fantastic place.
Yeah.
Still going, you know.
Yeah.
Going. Yeah.
But you don't go back. to
Closed
the
down
restaurant.
for refurbishing a few weeks ago. Did I see on Facebook?
It might have done, John. It might have done.
Somebody went there and it was closed down, and it was being refurbished, but they weren't sure whether it was going to be reopened as previously.
Great chicken.
It was a few weeks ago. I saw it on Facebook.
I think the original Harry's bar's there, isn't it, Lisbon?
Original Harry's bar.
Texas bar.
The Texas bar, was it?
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Atlantic bar was another one.
Atlantic Blue.
Yeah.
I
Texas
know
bar,
them all.
Atlantic bar.
Yeah.
I had some good times there. I had some great times in Lisbon. That's a good run ashore.
Yeah, it was.
Good run
Yeah.
ashore. Still
You had
is.
to go pay the rent, did you, Brendan?
I know.
I had some good times there. I had some good times, really.
A
really.
story that I tell you about Lisbon was Des Grundy went ashore,
Oh.
banging off there, got a dose. And when we pulled in there the next cruise, the bird who gave him the dose was waiting on the quayside, waiting for him. So it must have been good. That's all I can say.
No,
Is that a cue, Bob?
Watching the money, mate. Not been paid.
Not been paid.
No, she came down to tell him that he'd given her a dose.
There's Grundy.
The scene, man, the scene.
The big scene, yeah, like that. Yeah.
Because in those days they didn't let you keep working like they do now. So it was in boiler suit for a fortnight. Yeah.
Pete, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Good. That's all right. Glad you didn't hear the last conversation. It would have upset you, right?
I'm trying to
Oh,
get Ollie in at the moment, Dave. Look, I just sent in the link.
Oh, where is the old boy? I haven't seen him for ages.
We haven't
Ollie.
seen for eight long time.
Yeah, Ollie's trying to get. If you look at your phone, Dave, you'll see the communications we've been having.
I saw it come up.
No, I've got.
I think he had Wi-Fi problems for a while, didn't he, Ollie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the Messenger crew bar, Dave. That's okay. So
I've got it on. I'm on your WhatsApp with
yeah, I know you are, but you multitask. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right. Okay. Trying to
Brendan,
messenger.
are you doing the reunion in Southampton? Have you decided?
I think we're going to go, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
great. Thank you for asking, Steve. I was going to ask him that as well. Wonderful.
Right.
I would hope
What's
to.
happening about Diggs there?
No, no,
What's happening about Diggs down there? Is anybody wanting to share a room?
Well, me and Ollie booked a room last week.
Yeah.
Oh, have you?
A place. It's a B&B actually near the station.
All right.
All right.
If we go, we might pick Ollie up on the way down because we go past where we live. But if he wants a lift, that is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just getting the name of it now, Bob, for you. It's nice. It seems like a nice place.
The hotel's
It's called
good.
the-
The Novotel.
We're staying in the
called the-
Novotel.
Have you booked up,
It's
Derek?
called the Argyle,
Yeah.
isn't it, Steve? The Argyle Hotel.
I got Argyle Lodge.
Argyle Lodge.
The Argyle Lodge.
What, in Southampton?
Yeah, B&B. It's just up near the station. To get to where the do is in the big hotel, it's not too far of a walk, actually. It's just over the railway line and down the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have a look at it.
At the Argyle Lodge. I did it on booking.com.
Yeah?
How about you, John? Are you going to be in the UK for it? Or?
They've got single rooms.
Absolutely. Yes, I've already
Yeah.
got my luncheon has been paid for by my best friend in England already. It's all good.
Sorry, John. It wasn't you.
so
It was the other
don't
John.
believe that, Johnny.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about Hilda. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I've booked already. I haven't got the room booked yet, but I've already booked and paid for the luncheon.
Yeah.
How are you getting down there, John?
Sorry?
How are you getting down there?
I go by National Express.
Oh, okay. Well, we might be able to pick you up because Broadstairs isn't far from us, is it?
No, well, I go down the day before, book into the hotel,
Yeah.
and then I stay the night and then come back on the Saturday.
Okay, we haven't really decided yet because we've got a few things going on with Sherry's health, but hopefully she won't have any appointments and we'll be able to make it. But we're intending to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good. And Scotty, you'll be seeing your sister, will you, as well, will you, over this way?
Yeah, hopefully
It's feeding time.
we're going to have 2 nights in the
Babies are feeding.
Novotel and then go down and have a look round.
Right.
Yeah, have a look at that, Bob, if you want. It's me and Ollie.
We're going to go to Exbury on the Saturday.
Argyle Lodge.
Argyle Lodge.
Right.
It's on booking.com.
Yeah,
Myself and Ollie have booked bed and breakfast,
yeah.
3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You staying Saturday as well, are you?
Well, there's a story behind it, we'll let you know. But
All
it's cost us £204 for 3 nights for 2 of us.
What, £204 between you?
Yeah,
Good.
That's cheap, isn't it?
yeah.
Very good.
It's got very good write-ups, good reviews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
I'll have a look when we're finished. Yeah.
Well, there's from what's his name, Dave Dukes said there's about 70 or 80 already booked up. So I think he's expecting, what is it, nearly 180 odd or 200 or something?
Normally over 200.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was it just say the Novotel's booked up, is it?
I don't know.
Did somebody say?
No,
I
it should
don't
be
know,
all
but
right.
I'm staying there because we booked about 8 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Bloody hell, that's English. That's English.
Dave,
It's all right.
has he got a suite? Has he got a
Oh,
suite with a
lovely.
balcony?
It's all right for you people.
Overlooking the Suez Canal.
It's included in the Suez Canal
I
package.
tell you what, the dollar exchange against the pound is great for us.
All right.
all right, Johnny. All right.
Against the British pound or the Egyptian pound?
You get more
Yeah,
British pounds than Egyptian pounds the way it is.
Yeah.
Johnny, who's your tip?
Here's Ollie. Here's Ollie.
No,
I got Ollie in. I got Ollie in. Great.
Oh, flipping
Johnny,
it.
quick question. Who's your tip to win the Super Bowl?
I think Kansas City.
Oliver Steer.
It's
Oh.
pretty even, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Matchup, yeah.
Anyway, Ollie's here. Just explain.
Ollie.
We want to invite
Ollie.
everyone who wants to talk about sport to stay behind after John has stopped recording, and we'll explain to you why afterwards.
Right.
Okay.
Ollie.
Ollie.
Hey. Hey. Great.
Ollie,
How are you, Ollie?
your hair's grown.
Yeah, right, I'm just getting this to get off.
Yeah.
Sodding thing pissing me around again. Right,
Looks a
right.
bit older.
Blimey.
I feed it over tonight. That's
Are you
it.
still-
Got it.
You're
Anyway,
still locked in that cupboard,
Nice
eh?
to see you all. See
Good
you
to
next
see
week. See you next week. Bye.
Ollie,
Ollie,
it's not on next week.
I'll see you the week after then.
Yeah. We've gone bi-weekly now.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly, every other week.
Yes.
It's a long story, Ollie. It's a long story.
Yeah.
We'll let you know what's going on.
It is. But Ollie, it's great to see you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's good. We missed you.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So you're looking good. Looking good. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Very pleased.
Right. The next time, Ollie, you think of
Ollie,
some
we hear
stories.
you've got 3 nights with Stevie Walker in Southampton.
Yeah.
In a double bed.
I'm sleeping in my
Double
house.
bed.
So there'll be a lot of spooning going on.
There'll be a lot of everything going on.
Is there a kettle and tea bags involved?
Yes, dear.
Word of a tea bag, you never a kettling. What's that?
You want to come in for a tea bag in? Yeah.
What's a
I'm
kettling?
not sure in Lisbon.
Yeah, Brendan, executive room in the Novotel. 368.
How much?
368 for 2 nights.
368.
Fucking hell.
That's why we bought the B&B, because we're people, aren't we, Ollie?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the executive room. They do the cheap, the cheaper ones. And you get a little discount as well.
I was actually going to pack a tent and just camp out somewhere.
You've been doing that for years.
Are you used to camping, Ollie, aren't you?
You should know.
You're used to camping.
We all are.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Look, Scotty's got all his homies behind him. They're all there.
All his homies.
All the old navigators.
Yeah.
I
That's
went
all.
to ask Bobo, I know you're in Wales. Are you,
Yes.
when we spoke to you last, when we were over there for the great reunion, you were in the process of looking at an apartment. But have you sort of progressed and got something now, or?
Sort of. Yes, I have, but it's a bit complicated. But
Oh,
the one I
okay.
was
I
buying
won't try.
is I'm not taking. I've got another one on the boil. So.
All right. I wondered if you'd moved there.
No. I just arrived. I only decided this morning that I was coming to Cardiff. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Brendan. While I've got you, a very quick question.
Yes.
That you know that geezers, those walks.
The old geezers, yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when you ever have one in London again, because I'd like to
Yeah,
join.
we're going again on the 8th of March.
8th of March.
The Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the day before I go to Oz.
Oh, well, I fly out the 9th of March to Philippines. So I might join you. Try and send me
Okay,
some
I'll put you on the group.
Yeah.
And then you'll get all the details.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I've done to my. Don't know what I've done with my screen. I've sort of lost everything now. I've just got a picture of myself. I don't know what's happening here. Oh no, I've got it back.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you been able to see the main man in Wales?
No, because I only just decided this morning that I was coming. So I did send him a message, but I think he's probably crying after the game. So we won't mention it. So I think he's gone to hibernation. Yeah.
You might have suffocated on those 3 hot dogs he was eating.
Possibly, yeah. So I'll try and catch up with him tomorrow.
Well, the big one will be in Cardiff. Is it Cardiff? I think Wales and England. Pete, would that be right?
Yeah, it is next 2 weeks' time. Isn't it?
Oh, it's in 2 weeks.
Well, he'll be G'd up for that. There'll be lots of messages coming.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Good.
Anyway, we'll get a ride on our bicycles tomorrow, maybe, or the next day. Yeah.
You're doing, Ollie?
What's Ollie doing?
I'm not.
What's Ollie doing?
I'm not. I'm not doing anything.
He was beaming himself up. Beam me up, Scotty.
I was trying to.
That looked good. Can you do it again?
No, I didn't touch. Honestly, I haven't touched anything. I don't touch anything in case it all breaks down again.
Lovely.
I tell you what, Ollie, I can't wait to buy you a beer at the hotel like you got me that time.
What about the rest of us?
We'll be there. Don't worry.
Brendan, you're not in the clique. You're not in the clique, mate. Just me and Colonel. The Colonel.
Steve.
Oh,
You'll be spooning next to Steve. Will he get one?
And the beer.
That's right. Colonel will be there to meet and greet us, won't you, Johnny?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be there. You remember the camera in Avignon, Johnny, when we got off the plane?
Yeah.
Have you got that footage?
Yeah. Yeah.
When me, Dave, and Pat got off the plane and Ollie in Avignon, and you met us.
I've got it. Yeah.
Oh.
It might take me time to find it, but I've got it.
It's all in Johnny's
It's all in the filing system.
But Dave,
When the fiddler stops, it's closing time. Closing time, closing time, closing time. The women tear their blouses off, and the men they dance on the polka dots. And it's partner found, and it's partner lost, and it's hell to pay when the fiddler stops.
Lifeboat surfing in Puerto Vallarta. MV Spirit of London in 1974 was on the Mexican Riviera from cruising to Acapulco from San Pedro, Los Angeles. It was a week down to Acapulco and a week back. We called at Puerto Vallarta on Wednesday on the trip down and Tuesday on the trip back. Our agent in Puerto Vallarta was Big Al, who had his hands in many local pies and was generally regarded by most locals as a bit of a wide boy. In those days, before the cruise ships and yacht port was built, the only way for passengers to get ashore was by tender to the town pier that ran out from the local downtown beach area. Now, the Spirit for London did not have luxurious tenders, and in fact, to be perfectly blunt, it had none. Just lifeboats that did double duty and masqueraded as tenders in boat ports. The engines were started by a starting handle, and if you did not do it right, they could break your thumb. If they ever stopped, then you had to go through the whole startup routine again. Although they sounded like a sewing machine, the Perkins engines went along okay going ahead. But if you put them into a stern, they had very little power and slowed the boat at a snail's pace. And always then, the bow would kick out to starboard. To make them into tenders, a wooden floor had been put in, which could be discarded in a moment if they were ever to be used as lifeboats. For added comfort, blue cushions were on the seats. When there was a large swell running and a lot of surf was crashing onto the beach area, it was a very skilled job for the coxswain to bring the launch alongside the town pier, and the shore party had to be ready to catch the thrown bow and stern lines as the lifeboat approached the pier. Bar staff were always part of this shore party to help berth the boat and get the passengers out of the tender. Also then to load it with returning passengers and let go the lines. As well as us, there would be an Indian seaman. One day, when the surf was running very high, Oscar and another steward was on duty on the town pier. Tender after tender landed the passengers, but it was becoming more and more difficult as the waves got higher with each passing hour, and the surf was crashing onto the beach. The next launch-in approached with the famous Arthur Keatings as coxswain, and as it came in on a high wave, Arthur threw the engine in reverse, which did very little because of the aforementioned problem. and then inexplicably the engine cut out. With a wild yell to me, "Oscar, catch!" Arthur flung the mooring line at me, which had not a chance of making it, as they were too far off, and it fell short. The Indian seaman in the bow also tried to throw, and also missed the outstretched hand of the seaman on the dock. The wave then turned into the start of a breaker on the beach, and Arthur desperately tried to start the engine as the boat was borne onward to its landing in the surf on the beach near the town pier. Arthur, to his great credit, managed to steer the boat head-on onto the beach and prevented it broaching and spilling its passengers into the sea. Myself and the other steward pelted down the town pier towards the town end and the beach, and jumped down onto the sand and ran to where the boat lay in the water, with each successive wave trying to broach it round parallel to the beach. We both ran into the surf and tried to push the boat round and bow on onto the beach. As the passengers gradually scrambled out of the boat, waded through the surf to the beach. Finally, Arthur managed to get the engine started, and we heaved at the boat to get it back off the beach. Some local lads, who thought it all rather fun, helped us, and finally the boat very slowly managed to get off and clear the beach. Job done. We came out of the water, only to notice that the local population on the beach were highly amused by something. And then it dawned on us that it was our attire, or lack thereof. Have you ever noticed that white uniform trousers go transparent when wet? And my fellow steward was also wearing underneath transparent, very brief briefs that left nothing to the imagination. Of course, that clever chap, Oscar, was not caught out, as he had decided to go swimming after his duty finished, and therefore was wearing swimming trunks under his uniform trousers. Well, goodbye, everyone. Well, that's all, folks, for this week. From Oscar. Oh, and always remember...
This is like the red carpet at the Oscars. Taffy, say something, come on.
You're not driving the bus.
It's a cold, freezing evening in Aberdeen, but nothing will dim the spirits.
I don't think so.
We want Johnny to drive the bus. We want Johnny to drive the bus.